Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, my fellow judges and participants. Now, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for voicing my opinion on the second motion that has been given to us today. Now, for this motion, I don't necessarily agree with, as a middle class parent, we support our child's choice of deprioritizing formal education in favor of pursuing digital creative skills or careers. And here are my reasons why. Now, as a child myself, I understand the feeling of wanting our parents to just approve of what we want to do. That's understandable. But as a parent, we just want to have our child have a secure and happy life in the future. Now, parents don't have to put on so much pressure on their child to do what they don't want to do. But that doesn't mean that parents can just let their child do anything they want freely without any consequences of what happens. Now, in my eyes, by letting your child deprioritize formal education without a proper conversation or talk, or even a question if is it a good idea or not, then I'm sorry, but that's just poor parenting. Now, it just feels like they don't care about what happens to their child in the future. And if something did happen to them, it's like, okay, that just happened. Whatever. And it's sad. Now, of course, there are other factors that come to mind as well, other than parenting itself. The first being the jobs itself. Now, you might be asking, but what's wrong with the jobs? Aren't they okay? Now, jobs like audio-visual design, content creation, and even TikToking, for example, they're really popular right now. And it's mostly because of the pandemic that happened, since people can't really go outside or do their jobs. They just do that on their free time and become rich. But let me tell you this. What about in the near future? We can't really tell if those jobs will just stay at the top of the popularity system or it will just slowly die down. We don't know. Now, with a formal education, however, the least we can do is find an opportunity to get a different job. For example, if you get fired in this area, that's fine. You can try to find a different area that meets the criteria of your formal education. Now, without formal education, you can't really get any jobs because a lot of jobs need formal education as one of their criteria. Now let's go to the second factor, which is formal education itself. Now, people always think that formal educations always tie with boring desk jobs, children with mundane, boring lives. But that really isn't the case. Children with formal educations have a lot more possibilities of having a job that they want, rather than those who don't go through formal education. Now, with formal education, it helps us understand. It helps us just to really know what job that we want to do, with the help, of course, by professionals itself teaching us the way. And also with a formal education, a child's future is more guaranteed rather than those who deprioritize formal education. Now, formal educations also nowadays don't really have just courses that go through desk jobs, doctorates, stuff like that. There are a bunch more options in formal education right now, especially in colleges, that even go with art being one, or design and stuff like that. So really, as evolution still comes, there are more options that come in with formal education rather than not doing it. And well, I will end my argument here. Thank you, fellow judges and participants, for listening to my argument. And I just want to say that it's okay if you want to do something that you really love to do. It's all right. But just remember that with education, anything is more possible than without it. And education doesn't lead a boring life. It can lead to more fun stuff as well. Thank you again for listening to my argument. Now, I hope no one is offended by my arguments because this is solely my opinion. Everyone can have any opinion they want, but this is mine, and I hope you're not offended by it. And of course, if there are any mistakes, I hope you can forgive me as I am human and none of us are perfect. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.